we can discuss regarding the that is the anatomy and physiology of the hormones. So those are secreted in the endocrine systems or comes under the endocrine systems. So regarding the introductions towards the endocrine system, so dear students, so whatever the glands, so those are present in our body. So those glands are mainly categorized are into two types. One is the exocrine gland and second one is the endocrine glands. So exocrine glands, that is the example is a salivary gland. So already you learn it can secrete the saliva. So that saliva is helpful for the digestions of the food in the oral cavity. Lacrimal gland, it was secreted in the eye, so that was helpful for to protect the eye. Okay, then gastric gland, it is also secret the gastric secretions. Okay, so in the stomach, so that was helpful for the digestions of the food. So these all glands, so they are known as the exocrine glands, because so whatever these glands are there, so they secrete the secretions, so with the help of the pores. Okay, on the gland certain channels are there, certain pores are there, through which so they are secrete the hormones. So that's why so they are termed as a exocrine glands. And second type of glands, so that is the endocrine glands. So these endocrine glands are also known as the ductless gland. It means so they secrete their hormones, their secretions without need of the duct, without need of the pores, without need of the channels. So when blood is visited to these glands, so on that time, so along with the components and as well as the hormones from that particular gland, so they are carried out. So that's why so glands, so they secrete their secretion without any pores, without any channel. So that's why so they are known as the ductless gland. So example for the endocrine glands is that was the pituitary gland, then a thyroid gland, and as well as pancreatic gland. So once again dear students, so here the pancreatic gland, it is both exocrine gland as well as endocrine glands. So regarding the secretions of insulin, glucagon, so they are the part of the endocrine glands or endocrine functions. So regarding secretions of the amylase, peptidase, bicarbonate, tripeptidase, trahalase as a pancreatic juice. So that is the part of the comes under the exocrine gland. So that's why the pancreatic gland, it will be considered as the both exocrine gland as well as the endocrine gland. So today our topic is regarding the endocrine glands or ductless glands. So these glands, so they secrete certain substances or chemical substances. So those are known as a hormones. So hormones are the special chemical substances. So they are secreted from the endocrine glands or ductless gland, and such chemical substances is known as a hormones. So whatever the hormones, so they are secreted from the endocrine glands. So they are mainly categorized into four types. That is the peptides, then steroids, amines, and as well as the derivatives of the amino acids. So whatever the hormones, so they are secreted from the endocrine gland. So they are mainly categorized into four types. The first one is the peptides. So as the name indicates, so these hormones, so they are synthesized from the proteins, or they are protein in nature. So they are having the polypeptide or small chain of the proteins. So due to protein in nature, so these hormones, so they are known as the peptide derivatives. Our example is a enter pituitary hormones. All enter pituitary hormones like a growth hormones, ACTH, FSH, LSH, TSH. So these all are the enter pituitary hormones. So they are synthesized, are made from the proteins. So that's why so they are categorized into a peptides. So next one, that was the steroids hormones. So these hormones, so they are mainly synthesized from the cholesterols, and cholesterol is a steroid moiety. So that's why, so whatever the hormones in our body, so they are synthesized with the help of the cholesterol, and such hormones are known as the steroid hormones or steroidal hormones. Example for steroidal hormones, so that was the adrenocorticols. So that is those hormones. So they are secreted from the adrenal cortex, like a glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids. So these are the main, that is examples the cortisone, hydrocortisones. So these are the mainly synthesized from the adrenal cortex, and their moiety, it consists of they are the derivatives of the steroids, or they are derivatives of the cholesterol. So that's what they consider as the steroid type of hormones. Then gonadal hormones like a testosterone in the male, then estrogen, progesterone in the female. So these are also synthesized from the cholesterol or synthesized from the steroids. So that's why, so these are two examples for the steroids. And some hormones, so they are synthesized from the amines. Okay, they are mainly synthesized from the amines. Examples is the adrenaline and noradrenalines. These are mainly synthesized from the dopa, or they are mainly synthesized from the, that is the tyramines. So these tyramine is a amines. So that's why, so those are known as the amines hormones. Once again, example is adrenaline and as well as the noradrenalines. And some hormones, so they are consist of the amino acids. Okay, in their molecular structure, or they are derived from the amino acids, and such hormones, they are known as the derivatives of amino acid. Example is a thyroxines or T3 or thyroid hormones. Okay, it consists of the amino acid tyrosine. Okay, so that's why it is categorized into a derivatives of amino acids. Example is a thyroid hormones or T3. So like that, so what are the hormones? So they are secreted from the endocrine glands. So they are mainly categorized into 4 types. So now we learn regarding the what are the functions of the hormones. So dear students, the hormones are chemical messengers. It means they are chemical substances secreted from the endocrine glands and involved in the to transport the message from one neuron to the another neuron, or from one cell to the another cell, or from one part of the body to the another part, or from one system to the another system. So they can transport the messages. So regarding the regulations of the physiology of the human body, and such substances are known as a hormone. So that's why the hormones are involved in the communications, and they are also known as the chemical messengers. Hormones, so they are also regulate the BMR, that is basal metabolic rate. That is the metabolisms once again. So what is metabolism is occurs in our body. So regarding the carbohydrate metabolisms, that is required for the source of ATP, then protein metabolism that was required for the development and growth of the body, then fat metabolism, and fat metabolism is required for the synthesis of the steroid hormones as well as the source of the ATP, and mineral metabolisms, so that was required for the regulations of the minerals in our body. Minerals will also play an important role in the various biochemical reactions, and as well as, so they are required for the formations of the organs. So these all are metabolism is considered as the basic, that is the basal metabolic rate or reactions. So these BMR is also regulated by the hormones. For example, insulin and glucagon, so they are involved in the regulations of the carbohydrate metabolism. So like that, so many enzymes are there. So they are many hormones are there. Even the enzymes are the natures of the proteins or hormones. Okay, so they are regulate the BMRs, and as well as the hormones also play an important role in the regulations of the physiological activities. Whatever activities are there, so those physiological activities is also regulated by the hormones. So another good example is, so regulations of blood pressure or regulations of heart rate. So the two hormones like adrenaline and acetylcholine or noradrenaline. So they are involved in the regulations of the blood pressure and regulations of the heart rate. So these are the normal physiology. Even certain other functions like a muscle contractions and relaxation or many other whatever the physiological activities are there. So their activities of our organ system or system or human beings, that is also depending upon the hormones. So that's why the hormones is also involved in the regulations of the physiological activities of the human body. So next one, so hormones, so they are also involved in the communications. That is the once again to send the message from one cell to the another cells. Then hormones is also involved in the homeostasis. Homeostasis means balancing of the internal environment of the human body. Regarding anything, regarding balancing of pressure, blood pressure, regarding the balancing of the energy level in the body or mineral levels, whatever are there. So there is a equilibrium is there. If the equilibrium means, then only it is known as the health or healthy persons. If it is abnormal means, so that candidate was called as a unhealthy. And here the hormones, so they are play an important role in the homeostasis. Good example, that is the oxytocin. Good example, that is the antidiuretic hormones. So these are involved in the balancing of the water level in our body along with the minerals. Okay, so there is a needed. So that's why the hormones is also play an important role in the regulations of the homeostasis. So this is the regarding the introduction to glands and as well as the types of hormones and the functions of the hormones. So now we learn regarding some important terminology. So they are comes under the endocrine system. So dear students, the first terminology, so those are known as the neurohormones. Okay, so these are the hormones. Okay, but so they are synthesized from the neurons. So that's why, so whatever the chemical substances are there, so they are having the all the properties of the hormones, but they are synthesized from the neuron, and such substances are known as a neurohormones. Okay, these are the chemical substances synthesized from the neurons, and such substances are known as a neurohormones. Example is a oxytocin, vasopressin, and antidiuretic hormones. So these are the synthesized from the neurons. These are the example for the posterior pituitary hormones, but their site of synthesis is neuron. So that's why, so these are considered as the neurohormones. And second terminology that was known as the neurotransmitters. Certain chemical substances, so they are synthesized in the neurons and involved in the transmissions of the message from one neuron to the another neuron or from brain to the organs cell, and such chemical substances are known as the neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter means, so they always synthesize from the neurons and involved in the transport of the messages, okay, from one neuron to the another neuron, and such chemical substances are known as a neurotransmitters. So example is a adrenaline, dopamine, and GABA. So here the adrenaline, it can transport the message regarding the arousals. So now you all are arousal. So you are listening to my lecture because of arousals, because of alert. So that arousal or alert message was transported from throughout the neurons of the brain. That is the role of the adrenaline, that is the noradrenalines. That's why noradrenaline is considered as the neurotransmitters. So it can transmit the message regarding the arousal, alert, and as well as regarding the blood pressures or many brain functions are there. So are excitations. So these all are regulated by the noradrenalines, and also the dopamine, the conscious mind. Okay, the conscious mind are regarding the conscious functions of the muscles. That message was regulated by, transported by the dopamine. And regarding the GABA, this GABA is also another example for the neurotransmitter. So this GABA, it was involved in the to regulations of the sleep, or it can induces the sleep. Next one is the neuromodulators. Example is a BNP, CNP. BNP means brain natriuretic peptides, and CNP means C-type natriuretic peptides. So these are the now new peptides or proteins. So they are synthesized from the brain tissues, but so these are involved in the transport of the message. But these are not neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter definition is, so they are involved in the transport of messages and synthesized from the neurons. But neuromodulator, they involved in the transport of message, but they are not synthesized from the neuron. They are synthesized from the tissues. Okay, so that's why, so these are known as the neuromodulator. So BNP, CNP, so they carries the message regarding the repairing process in the brain, and as well as excitations that was required for in the brain. So that was message can carry a C-type natriuretic and as well as a BNP, brain natriuretic peptide. So that's why these are known as the neuromodulator. So next one that was known as the pheromones. Example is once again the pheromones. The pheromones is another classical terminology or hormones comes under the endocrine systems. So dear students, so these pheromones synthesized in the one body. Okay, they are synthesized in the one body and change the physiology of the another body. Okay, so suppose example, they synthesize in the person A and change the physiology of the person 2 or regulate the functions of the in another person body. Okay, but other neurotransmitter, neurohormones, neuromodulators are there. They synthesize in the same body and modify or regulate the physiology or function in the same body. But these pheromones are not like that. They synthesize in the one body and regulate the functions in the another body. For example, that the pheromones, so they are synthesized in the female dog. Okay, so that pheromones is helpful for the attractions of the male dog. So when the male dog, if it is inhale, so those pheromones from the female, when we take the smell, then it can attract it towards the female dogs. Okay, because so that pheromones, it can alter the physiology of the male dog, and such substances are known as the pheromones. Okay, they synthesize in the one body and modify the physiology of the another body, and such substances are known as the pheromones. So next, so regarding the classifications of major endocrine glands, so these major endocrine glands are endocrine glands, so they are mainly classified into pituitary glands. Example is a growth hormones, thyroid gland, that is example is T3, T4, that is thyroxine. Then adrenal gland, so that is the example is the mineralocorticoids and glucocorticoids and adrenaline. Then testes, so they are secret the testosterone. Then in the female, that is the ovaries, they are secret estrogen and progesterone. And pancreas, it is another class of the endocrine gland, so they are secret the glucagon and insulin. And thymus gland, so they are secret the thymosin. And pineal gland, that was secret the melatonin. So like that, the endocrine glands, so they are mainly classified into pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, gonadal gland, that is the testes and ovaries, pancreatic gland, thymus gland, and as well as the pineal gland. So they can secrete the various hormones like growth hormone, T3, T4, mineralocorticoids, glucocorticoids, testosterone, melatonin, thymosin, glucagon, insulin, estrogen, progesterone. So these all are the example for the endocrine hormones. So like that, so the endocrine glands, so they are mainly classified into different types. So now we can learn regarding the anatomy and physiology of the pituitary glands. So dear students, the pituitary gland is also known as a master gland because other gland function that was mainly depending upon the pituitary gland, because pituitary gland, it can secrete the hormones. So those hormones is required for the secretions from the another glands. Example is a secretions of T3 and T4. Okay, T3, T4, example for the thyroid glands. And thyroid gland function are secretions of these T3, T4 from the thyroid gland, that was mainly depending upon the thyroid stimulating hormone. So this thyroid stimulating hormone is the hormone of the pituitary gland. So that's why the functions of the thyroid gland, so that was mainly depending upon the pituitary gland. So like that, all other endocrine glands, so their secretion, their functions, so their regulations is mainly depending upon the pituitary glands. So that's why the pituitary gland is also known as a master gland. It was present in the sella tunica of cranium, just below the hypothalamus. One bean like structure is hanged. Okay, one a bean like structure is hanged. So that bean like structure is known as a pituitary gland. The exact location is, it is present in the inside the brain below the hypothalamus or sella turica of the craniums. And regarding the shape, so it is a bean or pea-shaped organ. And regarding the diameter, so it consists of the 1.15 centimeter or 0.5 inch. And regarding the weight, and an average weight of the pituitary gland is a 0.5 to just 1 gram. But it is 1 gram organ. It was involved in the regulation of all physiological actions of the human body. Only that the weight is the only 1 gram. So dear students, so this pituitary gland, it can mainly interconnect it, or it can work along with the RAS, that is reticular activating system. So this pituitary gland, it can got the inputs or information from the RAS, that is the reticular activating system. So this RAS system, it was involved in regulations of the arousals. Okay, so during arousal, so brain required more blood, more oxygen, more glucose. So that was adjusted by the pituitary gland by gathering the information or collecting the information from the RAS. So that's why the pituitary gland, it was involved in regulations of the organ function. And pituitary gland is also receives the message or inputs from the thalamus gland. And thalamus gland is a relay stations. It was helpful for to create the connections between the different parts of the brain. And here the pituitary gland, it also receives the inputs from the thalamus. According to that, it can adjust the secretions of the hormones. Okay, then limbing system, it was mainly regulate your locomotions, then your running, walking, writing skills, whatever there are there. So those all are standing positions, or sitting posture, or maintenance of the equilibriums of the body. So that all are regulated by the limbic system. So when you are running, automatically the blood pressure is increases immediately. When you are sitting or you are relaxing, automatically your blood pressure decreases, because so that was detected by the limbic system, send information to pituitary gland, and pituitary gland can adjust the hormones, and with the help of the hormones, shortly the blood pressure is increases and blood pressure is decreases. So already you have learned in the that is the heart chapter, CVS chapter, that is short term regulations of blood pressure with the help of the hormones. That is the pituitary hormones. So the pituitary gland, it was involved in the regulation of the blood pressure by getting the inputs from the limbic system. And pituitary gland, it is also got the inputs from the cerebral cortex. So already you know cerebral cortex, it was involved in the collections of the message, and as well as to find the solutions for that message. That was known as the integrations. So that's why during the integrations or working of the brain or the cerebral cortex involved in the to find the solutions for a problem. So on that time it was required the more blood circulation. So that was adjusted by the pituitary gland, because the pituitary gland is also receives the message from the cerebral cortex. According to that, it can adjust the that is the system functions or organ functions. Then also the pituitary gland, it can receive the inputs from the internal organs of the body as well as retina. Okay, that's why it was helpful for to continuously to supply the essential nutritions, essential components to that particular organ. That was because it is also receives the message inputs from the internal organs and as well as the retina. So that's why the pituitary gland, it was involved in to regulate the variety of the functions of the human body by getting the inputs from the RAS, thalamus, limbic system, cerebral cortex, as well as internal organ and the retina. So next one, so regarding the classifications of the pituitary glands or hormones, the pituitary glands are mainly classified into three types. Are there hormones classified categorized into three types? That is the anterior pituitary, or also the adenohypophysis or anterior lobe glands. Then second one is the posterior pituitary or neurophysis or posterior lobe, and third one is a pars intermedia. So this entire lobe of the pituitary gland, it was consist of the different type of the cells. So those are known as the somatotropes, secrete the growth hormones. Then thyrotropes, so they are secrete the thyroid stimulating hormone or thyrotropin or TSS. And gonadotropes, so they are secrete the follicle stimulating hormone FSH as well as luteinizing hormone LH. Then lactotropes, so they are secrete the prolactins. And corticotropes, so they are secrete the adenocorticotropic ACTH or corticotropin. So these are the example for the anterior pituitary hormones. Okay, then posterior pituitary hormones, it is also known as the neurophysis or posterior lobe because it is only involved in secretions of the hormones, not involved in the synthesis. Regarding the oxytocin, antidiuretic hormones or vasopressin, so they are synthesized in the neurons of the hypothalamus, but they secreted from the posterior pituitary gland or posterior lobe. Then next one is there is a location between the anterior and posterior lobe that was known as the pars intermedia. It can secrete the melanocyte stimulating hormone, also known as the MSH. So MSH is required for the secretions of the melatonin. So like that, the pituitary gland and pituitary hormones, so they are mainly classified into three types: anterior pituitary gland, posterior pituitary gland or pars intermedia. So now we learn regarding the regulations of pituitary hormones. So dear students, the pituitary gland is known as the master gland, but that master is also having the headmaster, or that master gland is also having another master gland that was known as the hypothalamus. So whatever the functions of pituitary glands is there, so that was mainly depending upon the hypothalamus. Okay, so hypothalamus, it can release the various factors. So those factors is required for the secretions of the various hormones from the anterior parts of the pituitary gland. So that's why the hypothalamus is known as the master of master gland. Okay, so that master, it can control the functions of master gland through a two mechanism or two phenomena. One is the indirect control through the release of regulatory hormone and direct release of hormones. So the hypothalamus, it can release a certain components or releasing factors. So those are reaches to the anterior pituitary gland, and then only the anterior pituitary gland utilizes those factors and involved in the synthesis release of these hormones. For example, the secretions of growth hormone. So where the hypothalamus, it can secrete the growth releasing factor. So that growth hormone releasing factor from hypothalamus, it can reaches to the somatotropes. Then only somatotropes synthesize the growth hormone and release the growth hormone under the influence of growth hormone releasing factor that was secreted from the hypothalamus and reaches to the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. So like that, the thyrotropes is also got the releasing factor from the hypothalamus, the thyrotrope releasing factor, then corticotrope releasing factor for corticotropes involved secretions of the ACTH, Then lactotropes is also got the releasing factor from the hypothalamus. The lactotropes releasing factor and involved in the secretion of prolactin, and gonadotrope they are also got the releasing factor from the hypothalamus. The gonadotropes releasing factor, there is the reaches to the cell gonadotropes in the enteropetular gland and involved in the secretion of FSH and LSH. And second phenomena, that was direct release of hormone. Hypothalamus, certain neurons of the hypothalamus, they synthesize some hormones and they cause the release of the posterior pituitary hormone. They are synthesized in the hypothalamus and stored in the posterior lobe, and by these mechanism they can respond for release of the posterior pituitary hormones. Example, that the phenomena is the sensory stimuli. The neurons, so they stimuli in the hypothalamus, so their axon is present in the posterior pituitary gland, they release the ADH. And another phenomena, the chemoreceptor stimulation. So due to chemoreceptor stimulation, automatically the oxytocin was released from the axon of the neuron, so those are present in the hypothalamus, and their axon was present in the posterior pituitary gland. So like that, ADH, oxytocin release, so the directly releases due to sensory stimuli or chemoreceptor stimuli. So another one is the intermedia, it was involved in the secretions of the melanocyte stimulating hormones. So like that, so these are the two mechanisms, so they are involved in the secretions of the pituitary hormones. So in the next class we can discuss regarding the anatomy and physiology of the pituitary hormones.